One of the random things I think about from time to time is that no matter where I am, whether I'm at home, church, or in a restaurant, that filling up the entire room I'm in are a whole bunch of invisible radio waves and TV signals I can't see or hear. I mean, I could take a radio into a McDonald's, plug it in, and immediately hear all kinds of music. Of course, there's no way to hear that music or watch those shows that are being broadcast unless I have some kind of receiver to pick those signals up. Otherwise, I could go my whole life without ever knowing they were there. This is often what I think of when I consider how God is omnipresent. God is everywhere at all times. He speaks to us wherever we are, and his presence can be felt wherever we go. Most of us, however, don't usually hear God speaking to us and feel his presence around us constantly wherever we go. That's not because he's not there, though. It's simply because we're not tuning in to his signal. Instead, we can start listening to the things and people around us. Sometimes we feel as though the only time and place to experience God is on Sunday mornings or when we feel like opening the Bible. We may not feel God's presence when we're getting ready for work in the morning or driving down the road. What we need to do is learn how to keep our hearts and ears tuned in to God's frequency as we go about our day. God is always wanting to speak with us. We simply have to listen to what it is he has to say. God isn't going to force our ears open. He's probably not going to knock us to the ground to get our attention like he did with Paul. Instead, he waits for us to open the door for him, to invite him in, and listen to what he has to say. This is encouraging for me because it can be done wherever I am, no matter what's going on in my life. Just like how those radio waves are always being transmitted, we can experience an encounter with God in the middle of the night, sitting in the bathroom, up on a mountain, during a family reunion, wherever and whenever. There's not even such a thing as going outside the range of God's signal. You can always get cell service for God. So then you might be asking the question, how do I tune into God's signal? How can we experience his presence wherever we are? It's always different for everyone, but here's some good tips. First of all, quiet your heart. Put all of your worries and business out of your mind for a while. If you want to listen to some worship music or just relaxing music in general to help, that's fine. Secondly, you should make sure your heart aligns with God. That means you're seeking what God's will is instead of your own. There's nothing wrong with voicing your concerns to God, but it's difficult to hear him when you're busy talking. Finally, simply ask him to speak to you. God hears us when we pray, so if we ask him to speak with us and we're doing our part of listening for him, he will be sure to do so. It may not be an audible voice, but we will find ourselves starting to tune in to his signal. If you're interested in talking to me more about this subject, or if you have a question you'd like to ask me, I encourage you to contact me either through this program's Facebook page or by emailing me at sermoninthepocket@gmail.com. For those who are interested in helping me cover the cost of this program, the best way to do that is by pledging a monthly support on my Patreon page. And I encourage you to share this program with family and friends to help spread the message. As always, thank you for taking the time to listen, and I pray that you have a wonderful day.